here we have Ben Shapiro uh, getting upset and triggered over Brian Cranston uh, saying that the Maga slogan is racist. And I love this because so many right wingers are melting down over their racist ideas being called out.
Well, Bryan Cranston is very good at the acting, and he's very, very bad at the thinking. It's always amusing to hear from people like Bryan Cranston about deep ideas. Bryan Cranston, a graduate of Los Angeles Valley College. So I used to live like literally across the street from LA Valley College. Let me just tell you, it is the Harvard of the San Fernando Valley. It is the Yale of North Hollywood. Really just spectacular intellectual achievements happening at Valley College. So Bryan Cranston was on with Chris Wallace. He's still on TV. Did you know that, Chris Wallace? Kind of. He's kind of on TV. He's over at CNN. But in any case, he sat down with Bryan Cranston, and Cranston decided that he was going to talk about how Make America Great Again is inherently racist. Here we go.
The Make America Great Again. My comment is, do you accept that that could possibly be construed as a racist remark? And most people, a lot of people go, how could that be racist? Make America great again? I said, so just ask yourself from an African-American experience, when was it ever great in America for the African-American? When was it great? So if you're making it great again, it's not including them. So it's to teach us in the woke world to open up and accept the possibilities that our privilege has created blind spots for us. And maybe I haven't seen what is really happening yet in all my years.
It's so tiring. He's doing the work. He's doing the work, guys. And there's so many actors and actresses, or actors as we call them now, because we're not allowed to say actresses because men and women don't exist anymore, who are doing the work. So Sally Field, she's a terrific actress. She won a Lifetime Screen Actors Guild Award last night. And Sally Field, in accepting her award, had to proclaim her privilege Malice style. She got up there and she talked about how she grew up in Pasadena as a white girl. And that means that all of her challenges are as naught. All of her challenges are completely of no consequence whatsoever. Here was Sally Field.
Honestly, I was a little white girl with a pug nose, born in Pasadena, California. And when I look around this room tonight, I know my fight, as hard as it was lightweight compared to some of yours. I thank you and I applaud you. And I know that for you, just like for me, it has not been easy.
So this is the de rigueur proclamation of nonsense that you get now. It's an amazing thing. Now, listening to actors about politics, it's a dumb idea. You know what else is a dumb idea? Spending a ton of money for yourself.
Let's skip his advertisement, because it is pointless.
They basically get to decide what is racist. And well, our institutional geniuses, they basically get to decide what is racist and what is not, and who should have power and who should not. Here's the thing. All of those same people, they also kind of run the economy, which is why you should hedge against their leadership by at least putting some of your money in an asset that has never been worth zero, gold. Gold will...
Another advertisement. Come on, dude. How about you actually get to like what you're trying to talk about?
Abused by her stepmother. So, by the way, gold, text Ben to 9898 did not experience some real troubles. So, for example, she was apparently sexually abused by her stepmother. Her parents were divorced when she was 4 years old. And that's not exactly like the world's best life for a child, but apparently it says because she was white and she grew up in Pasadena, and that's the thing that really, really matters. And
well, she's just saying that she may have had a hard time growing up, but compared to some others, their time was growing up was harder, and that does happen in various cases.
The notion that Bryan Cranston puts out there, that if you believe in Make America Great Again, this means because Make America Great Again, when was it great for black? Let me explain something. As a Jew, there are times that living in the United States has not been like amazing as a Jew. Not for me, but for my grandparents, my great-grandparents. Right? There were no Jews allowed country clubs in the United States. They were fairly common.
Ah, so he's admitting that the United States has some racism in its past.
There's an entire movie called Gentleman's Agreement that actually won Best Picture at the Oscars in 1947. It won Best Picture, starring Gregory Peck, and the entire thing was about the treatment of Jews in 1930s, 1940s America. Was America not great during the 1940s? America was pretty great during the 1940s.
Okay, it was great for some people. It's funny how he's talking about, yeah, there was racism in America and Jewish people were excluded from public places, and then he wants to try to claim that it was America was still great. Like, no, you can't be great and be racist. That's just like what black people are talking about. America was never great because we had slavery, then we had Jim Crow laws, and then we had uh, plantation prisons cropping up because the 13th Amendment allowed for slavery as a punishment. Then we had segregation, and uh, what redlining happened, where uh, it was impossible for black people to get loans for businesses and housing and stuff like that. So, yeah, no, America was never great.
I don't mean like it was great for every single person or for every group it was equivalently great. But America has always been great because our founding principles were great.
Oh, okay, so it's okay that there was a rampant racism and slavery and stuff like that, but because the quote unquote ideas were great, that makes America great. Like, no, it doesn't matter what kind of ideas the nation is founded upon. If there's like rampant racism and bigotry and stuff like that, yeah, your nation is definitely not great.
And if you compare the United States to other countries, America is the most phenomenal beacon of light in human history. Saying make America great again means make America great on the world stage, for example, or go back to America's founding ideals, for example, or go back to.
Okay. Go back to the founding ideals. Is that where uh, women couldn't vote, black people were slaves, only white Christian rich men had the ability to vote? Like, I mean, you're talking about going back to a very bad time.
the notion that America's constitutional rights are good, right? That's what make America great. And everyone knows this. Everyone knows this, of course. If you say to somebody, what was like the best time of your life? What was the best? Somebody will name you, like an age period that was the best time of their life. If you said, well, wasn't the best time of your life for Bob? Bob over here wasn't great for Bob. You know what's happened to Bob? He had a problem that year. Or do you remember that year?
I don't know, trying to use individuals to as like some kind of metaphor comparison is not really working out because yeah, millions of people did not have a good time for decades, and it was systematic. It wasn't just like some dude having a bad year, which happens to a lot of people. Bad things happen, but the government was purposely and systematically treating certain people worse than others.
This bad thing happened? Yes. I do remember that bad thing happened. All these things can be true simultaneously. Life is extraordinarily complex. History is extraordinarily complex. Does that mean America was never great? Right? This is the left's response is America was never great. But great compared to what? Great is a relative term, generally speaking.
Okay, so what are you defining as great? I guess back to the founding fathers. No, America was never great. It's never been great. As I said before, the rampant amount of racism that's been going on for like hundreds of years really diminishes the greatness of a nation.
Is an absolute. If you are saying America was never great compared to the utopia that we shall create, that's messianic thinking and it ain't true. If you're saying America was never great in relation to other countries, that's obviously untrue.
I don't know. Saying that America is great just because of its ideals is messianic and like idealized thinking. Um, because it doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter what the ideals of a nation are. If there are groups of people that are being mistreated by the government systematically because of like their race or their heritage or whatever, that nation is not great whatsoever.
But what is this really about? It's really about Bryan Cranston patting himself on the back. Well, oh, look at him. He's a white guy, but he's not like the rest of those white people. He's not like the rest of the white people. He's a white guy who dissociates from the other white people because he understands. He's doing the work.
No, well, he doesn't disassociate himself from other white people. He just understands that the United States is not great, and MAGA is racist, and right-wingers are racist. But the fact that he doesn't, he isn't racist. Ben Shapiro has some kind of issue.
Sally Field, she's doing the work. Hey guys, just go act, make movies, make plays, like do the stuff that you're good at. Leave the politics to the people who actually have read a book. Alrighty, folks, the rest of the show is continuing.